AutoWeb. Welcome to the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast, the #1 resource for automotive sales professionals, managers, and owners to learn how to make money, accumulate wealth, and to all out ball out in the auto industry. And now your hosts, Sean V. Bradley and L.A. Williams.
1, 2, 3, 4,
AutoWeb.
Hey everybody, this is Sean V. Bradley, president of Dealer Synergy, and the creator of the Millionaire Car Salesman Group. And I got a special guest for our podcast. This is season 4, Place to Be. I got Robbie Irvin, of Gary Smith Honda out of Florida. So, Robbie, say hello to everybody.
Hey guys, it's Robbie Irvin. Nice to meet all of you, and I'm very thankful for this opportunity to be on the podcast.
That's what's up, man. And again, I apologize in advance for the audio. I mean, again, it's pandemic weather out here. You know what I'm saying? So, Robbie, I want to profile you first. So, you look young, man. And so, for people who can't see on a podcast, tell everybody, how old are you, brother?
I'm 26 years old.
26 years young. Okay. How long have you been in the automotive industry for?
I've been selling cars for about 3.5 years, and I detailed cars for a couple months before that.
All right, so you said, did I hear 2.5 years?
3.5 years.
3.5 years, okay. But you've been at your current dealership for how many years?
For 2 years. I was
for 2 years.
Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram store in Hoopeston, Illinois, real small town. And after 1.5 years there, my wife and my kids and I, we moved down here to Florida.
All right, so you've been at this store in Florida for 2 years. What do you normally average, unit-wise per month before this month? And what was the largest you've earned in 1 year, financially?
The most I've earned in a year ever was $60,000, and that was last year. Last year in 2019, I averaged, let's say, 18 cars a month. The year before that, I was doing, 14 or 15 cars a month.
Okay, well, holy crap. So let's tell everybody, it is July 1st, 2020. So we're talking to you because I was blown away by your June 2020 stats. So what did you close in June of 2020?
I finished with 35.5 car deals, 44 total customers, had quite a bit of splits in there, having 3 or 4 people here at the same time. I got a really good partner that helps me out, and I did about $18,000 in gross, and then another $1,000, in spins and stuff like that from Honda.
So when you say gross, you're talking about that's what your gross income was. That's what you made. So you freaking generated. You're a 26-year-old young professional only at your dealership for 2 years. You normally average 18 cars. You freaking doubled it. You sold 35 cars in the middle of a pandemic, and you earned $19,000 in income. So now here's this crazy part, because you said that the most you made in a full year is $60,000, and that's in 12 months. Wrap your mind around that, brother. You just made 1/3 of your entire annual income last year in 1 month. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel very blessed to be able to do things for my kids that I was never able to have done for me when I was young. I just want to continue to do that and provide the best life possible I can for them. Like I said, it makes me feel very blessed, and give all the glory to my team and my wife and my family and God.
Well, you know what, man? That really makes me feel so proud of this industry. You know what I mean? Because I could just look at you, and for the people that are just listening to this, I'm looking at this man in his eyes, and I could see how sincere you are and how proud you are, and you deserve it. So again, just how humble you are, because the car industry, I got ego. So that's why my group is called the Millionaire Car Salesman Group. But to be humble and give, praise to your team and to God it's a character, man. It shows your character, and I respect that. So let's get into this. How the hell did you sell double the amount of cars than which you averaged in the middle of a pandemic? Now, before you answer that, did you have any inventory issues last month?
Yes, sir. Our new car inventory was, we usually have 100+ cars on the lot. We got 45, 50 new cars on the lot right now. and when you're talking about different cars and the trim levels and everything on them, I went without a single EXL, CRV or Civic or Accord, anything like that. We had no cars with leather on the lot even. Like I said, and
so how did you do that though? That's what I'm saying. Like you were working in adverse conditions in the middle of a pandemic, and Florida is hot right now with as far as with the COVID-19 cases. How are you able to sell 35 and a half cars, double your average units in the middle of a pandemic in an inventory crisis? What did you do differently?
So I knew that it was going to be tough from the get-go, and I didn't want to accept that. So every single day I came in, 8:15, and the first thing I would do is I would knock out 30 or 40 phone calls as soon as possible. Then I would text any customer that didn't respond. If they didn't respond to the text, I would email them, I would video them. I just worked a lot harder than I ever have, and it showed me what I could do, in the future. Like I said, I knew what could happen, and if I didn't work my butt off, I knew what kind of a month it could be, and I just refused to accept that. And I worked the hardest I've ever worked, and I went down my entire list of customers I've had in the last 6 months or so, and like they say, until they buy, die, or cry, right?
Absolutely. All right. So again, what time is your dealership open at?
8:30.
So you got in at least 15 minutes earlier than what you had to be there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think that's a very, very strong work ethic, and I think that's it's missing from a lot of people. Sometimes people come in late or just at the time that the bell rings. So let's start with that one piece right there. That's a good advice to the podcast audience is, you really feel that coming in earlier than what you have to gives you a competitive edge, gives you the ability to kind of give yourself a chiropractic alignment. Is that what I'm understanding?
100%, man. When I get here early and I get a head start in my work plan, or you're the first person here, first person to catch a customer, whatever it is, but getting here and getting an early jump start on my work plan just sets the whole rest of your day up, because if you get here late and then you get a customer right away or whatever, you end up 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, and you've still got 30 phone calls you got to make, or 25-30 customers you got to reach out to, and you haven't done that, and then you feel like you have to rush doing that. When I get a head start, I just feel like I can go throughout the whole day, and I can accomplish my entire work plan. I usually have a pretty full work plan, usually have about 40 or so customers to contact in a day. And like I said, it just sets up the whole day. When you start your day late, you end your day late usually.
Absolutely. Okay. So what kind of CRM do you have?
We actually just switched to Drive Centric in March. And
okay. And how fluent are you in CRM? How hard do you work your CRM?
Oh, I mean, I work it to the death. I'm basically not trying to brag or boast or anything, but when somebody else in the dealership, another salesperson, has any issues with it, needs help doing anything, figuring out how to do something, finding something, whatever, they usually come and find me, and I help them out there. And I've somebody gets way behind on their work plan, I'll go and help them get done with that or whatever. A lot of it all is, going back to the selling the amount of cars and everything, is in this business, a lot of people don't like to look at it as a team thing. And I think when you look at it as a team thing and you help everybody and everybody helps you, I feel like you're all going to succeed more, and, especially yourself.
No, that's a very, very strong point. I'm gonna table that, because one of our top clients just sold 308 cars out of their internet department, and it's because they have a whole unique model, like you talk about, a team mentality. They're a championship award-winning team. But let's go back to, I want to just frame this in. So if I want to be successful, I should come in early. Give us some of the things that you do or you're able to get accomplished by coming in early. So what is your focus? Are you looking at your CRM? Are you looking at the previous day's uplog? What is it that you're doing when you come in early?
So usually when I come in early, I try to knock out that work plan as much as possible. Like I said, that way, some of that does end up being busy work. But I try to knock out that as much as possible and just make contact with as many people as you possibly can. Or, if I have appointments for the day, if I got 3 or 4 appointments, I'm going to get these cars cleaned up, make sure they're full of gas. If if it's a new or certified car, make sure it doesn't stink, make sure, it doesn't need vacuumed out, doesn't need anything done to it. Whenever the customer gets there, it's ready to be shown and sold. So them are my 2 main things is, knocking out that work plan. And then that way it frees you up the rest of the day when you're not with the customer to go in there and just, find other places to work customers from, whether it's, I don't know if you've ever heard of AutomotiveMastermind. We got that program that's open to the dealership. I go in there.
That is an amazing tool. I've got a bunch of my clients on it, and a very good friend of mine is one of the performance managers for, like in the area. So we actually believe fully in Automotive Mastermind. So you are crushing Automotive Mastermind.
Yes.
So let me explain to the people. So what Automotive Mastermind is to the podcast, it's a data mining, equity mining tool similar to like Auto Alert or Auto Loop or like Vince Solutions. The Dealer Socket has a data mining, equity mining piece. So these are this is a very powerful tool. But the cool thing about Automotive Mastermind is that they're deploying the campaigns themselves. What you can do, Robbie, from my understanding, is if you log in, you have like lease, finance, or cash opportunities. There's scores that go with it, and then you're just able to reach out with people, and it's actually easier. And here's, Robbie, you might not know this, but I'm going to tell the podcast audience that there's certain stats. Do you know what the highest closing ratio is? It's a rhetorical question, right? The highest closing ratio for any salesperson in the automotive industry is repeat and prior customers. You're looking at a 65 to 75% closing ratio for a repeat customer, prior customer. Even, here's crazy, even if they didn't buy from you. Because people, and Rob, this is a good fact, I don't know if you're really big on orphan owners, you know what I mean? But that's actually really huge, because if somebody bought a car at your dealership, but their salesperson isn't there anymore, that if you take that over, a lot of salespeople are ignorant and they think that it's garbage or it's a waste of time. They're out of their mind. If somebody already got closed and spotted at your dealership and the salesperson is not there, it's low-hanging fruit for you to engage and convert to your disciple, to your raving fan. And then there's another thing that's good with Automotive Mastermind. I don't know if you tapped into this. Unsold service customers. Every dealership, especially a freaking Honda dealership, has a lot of people that use the service department, but they do not turn around and buy a car from the dealership. So they're not orphan owners. They're just, nobody owns them, but because they've never bought a car there. But here's something that's important, Robbie, real quick, is that NADA says that if somebody services a car at a particular dealership, they are 7 times as likely to purchase a vehicle from they service the car from. So if you've got a bunch of people that service from you, but you don't turn around and convert them to sales, you're missing the boat. Robbie, you were going to say something, sir?
Yes, sir. You made an excellent point with that. In the Automotive Mastermind system, they're labeled under the Conquest tab. And that's people who service here but have never bought a vehicle from you. And them and the orphan ones are some of the easiest to convert, like you said. You reach out to somebody and let them know, like, hey, I noticed that the salesman that sold you your last car, if it's an orphan customer, that, he's no longer here. My name's Robbie. I'd love to assist you. If you ever have any questions or concerns or anything like that, please feel free to reach out to me. By the way, I don't know if you got the letter or the email that we sent you, but, if they have, they're going to say, yeah, I got it, all that good stuff. If they haven't got it, that's a perfect opportunity to present it to them and get them back in your dealership, try and sell them a vehicle. On the Conquest ones, like you said, if somebody services at your dealership, then they are definitely more like, I didn't know the stats, 7 times or what, they're definitely more willing to buy from your dealership because they already service there. They like your service department. Because let's be honest, if they don't like your service department, they're not going to get their vehicle serviced there. So, with them already servicing the vehicle there, if you have something that they want or something that, intrigues them, or, if you got a crazy offer, like a lot of the Automotive Mastermind stuff is stuff where you can, lower somebody's interest rate. Who doesn't want to lower their interest rate? or you can lower their payment or keep it around the same and upgrade them from a 2016 to a 2020 and give them all the new safety features.
Time out, tag. I want to get some. I'm going to build off of what you're kicking out here. What's kind of cool in that, listen, folks, to what we're saying here. Automotive Mastermind and data mining tools like them are amazing because you could run a myriad of campaigns. Let's just talk about a lease, for example, here. So you could have a lease early term program, and Honda starts out, I think, at as far as like 6 months out, 5 months out, 4 months out, 3 months out, 2 months out, 1 month out. So you could do that traditionally, but you could also identify anybody that's in a lease that's over miles now that still has time on there, because that's a great thing. So if you're a salesperson, you could go into Automotive Mastermind and identify anybody that's in an active lease right now, but they're over miles on their lease and they still have months left. And the pitch is really simple. Hey, Robbie, this is Sean Bradley from ABC Motors, and I just wanted to reach out to you about your lease. Our records show that you are over miles. You had a 36-month lease, and within basically 12,000 miles a year. However, we're seeing that you are already over 4,000 miles on there. That's the equivalent of roughly about like $790. I'm making it up. But you still have 4 months left on your lease. At this rate, you're going to owe like $4,000 or $5,000 when you term it. I have an idea. I'm simply suggesting that you consider possibly, getting out of the lease early and blah, 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 blah. And so to me, that's a great pitch. Like what you just said, who doesn't like the fact you can run into Automotive Mastermind and identify anybody that's got equity in their vehicle? How would you like to, trade out of your vehicle that's out of warranty, get into a brand new vehicle with the warranty and keep you at the same payment or save you $10 a month? So again, what I don't understand, I do understand, but I'm just being dramatic for a second. A lot of salespeople rather swim upstream and wait for the magic up bus instead of working a data mining, equity mining tool. What I'm hearing from you that I've extracted is that you see the value as a showroom sales consultant on CRM. To be the go-to person, usually it's the internet manager or it's the CRM manager or the marketing manager or some other random person. But for you as a sales consultant to be the go-to person to fix your CRM problems is amazing. It shows that you get it. And then to turn around and hear you say about Automotive Mastermind, data mining, equity mining for you to kick out some campaigns shows that you get it. Couple that with coming in early, having a good, strong work ethic, and a synergistic attitude is really powerful. So let me just ask you some things. What would you say some of your keys to success are? So let's just say I was your cousin or your brother or something like that, right? And I wanted to sell cars. And I was like, Robbie, damn, man, I want to be like you when I grow up. What are some things that are really, core beliefs of yours for your success? What is it? Is it like, do you walk the lot every day? Do you know your inventory inside out? Are you a master at Honda product knowledge? Or like, what's some of the things?
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Did you know 40% of service calls go to voicemail or hang up?
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
How many times does it take for your customers to connect with someone at your store?
The world may never know.
Unless you have CallSource customers connect with 96% of their clients' calls and convert over 85% of bookable calls to appointments. Really? If you're not performing at that level, or if you don't know, then text HELP to 855-963-2686 and receive a free evaluation of your store's performance.
Definitely knowing your product is probably the most important thing when you sell new cars at a Honda dealership. Nobody wants to come in and buy a car from somebody who doesn't know how to explain features to them or tell them what an advantage or a benefit is like that. I could probably be better about walking my lot and knowing 100% my inventory. You get caught up with customers and that's just an excuse, but I could be better at that, I think. Really though, to me, it's all about building rapport and finding, your common ground, being a likable and honest person with your customers. And as most of you probably know, if somebody likes you, the rest is easy. They're less likely to ask for a discount. They're a lot more likely to buy a vehicle that you have on your lot, even if it's not exactly what they were looking for. If they buy from sales, they don't buy actual cars.
Absolutely. So sales, I like to say, is transference of energy. You know what I mean? If you get somebody to like you, trust you, and believe you, they're going to buy from you. And so again, sales is a relationship thing, in my opinion, to your point. So can you give us some of your tips? Like when you first engage a prospect or you up somebody and you bring them to your desk and you start the qualification process, do you guys have customer worksheets or do you guys use Foursquares? What do you guys use?
We got a what we call our guest sheet, and it's some people that are newer, they like to take that paper, sit down with the customer, write it down. I don't necessarily like to do it that way. Once you've been doing it for a little while, you should be able to actually, just have a conversation with somebody and be able to answer them questions. But it's got in there, what the credit score is, if they're putting money down, their monthly payment that they're wanting. What I've found is if you put somebody on a car that fits their budget, 9 times out of 10, they're going to buy a vehicle from you. So, we all know how to, guess payments based off the price of a vehicle or whatever, whether they have negative, whether they don't, after taxes and all that good stuff. A $20,000 car is, $400 a month with average credit. It's a little less when you got great credit. If you put somebody on the right vehicle that fits their needs and their budget, your closing ratio could be through the roof. Everybody says, what is it like? Is it 25% is like the average showroom up closing ratio? I feel like if you, do a good process, a guest sheet, whatever you want to call it, and put somebody on the right car that has some or most of their wants and needs, and it fits their budget, they're going to buy a car.
Strong. Here's so interesting to me that you don't know certain stats, but you know the reality. Let me explain. NADA says the number one reason why people don't buy cars is because they landed on the wrong car. It's exactly what you just said. Is if you put somebody on the right car and it fits their budget, most likely they're going to buy the vehicle. And so I'm validating what you're saying because, again, from the National Automobile Dealer Association, that's the number one reason why people don't buy cars. Too little car, too much car, not the right car. And so I believe that the qualification part of the road to the sale is one of the most important things. That, as well as, during the qualification process, is you're being able to, identify common ground. Can you share with us, what are certain things that you do to try to build a rapport with somebody, try to build a common ground? What do you do to get people to like you, trust you, believe you?
If they got kids, that part's easy. I got kids. I'm good with little kids. That's one thing, for instance. As everybody knows, when you're training and stuff, you're taught to look for T-shirts, bumper stickers, lanyards, whatever it may be. I love sports. So if they got any kind of sports apparel on, I instantly, boom, we're having a conversation about sports for 10 minutes before we even get started. You know what I mean? Sports, kids, hobbies, where they're from. When you in Florida, I like to call Florida the melting pot of America. America was the melting pot of the world. I like to call Florida the melting pot of America. We got a lot of military bases right around it. So there's people from all over the world. I've been all over the country. I've been a lot of places, and it's, easy to find common ground based off of where somebody's from or, what other places they've lived, where they've been. Them are three of my probably main things I would say is, where people are from or areas, stuff like that, sports, kids, between them three things, you can usually find something in common with somebody, or at least something that you guys can talk about that's going to make you talk like friends and not like, some greasy salesman that they think you are originally.
Absolutely. Okay. So were you ever in the military?
No, sir. But most of my family.
No, that's strong. Okay. So, going back to the money, 19 grand. Do you realize that if you did that every single month, that would be $228,000 in a year that you'd earn selling cars at a Honda dealership, not even 30 years old? What does that make you feel like when you look at the math and you're like, holy smokes, I just earned $19,000 in 1 month? If I'm able to figure out a model how I could do that every single month, I will be in the deuces. Like, does that blow your mind, the potential that you have?
It does. So I grew up, pretty rough, living in Section 8 housing, off food stamps, stuff like that. And to be honest with you, I never thought I would even crack $100,000 ever in my lifetime in a year. And I wouldn't even be satisfied right now if I was to only make $100,000, you know.
That's what I'm talking about.
To know that the sky is the limit, basically, and where I started and, you know, where I'm already at now and what I know I can continue to do. You know, you see people with nice cars and nice houses when you're younger and stuff, and, you know, you hope you're going to get that or whatever, but probably don't ever think you will. And then, you know, you have a life change, and then you realize that stuff is actually accomplishable. And that goes for anybody out there listening or whatever, you know. If somebody else has it and they worked for it, there's absolutely no reason, especially if you're in sales, because it's, you know, it's unlimited, that there's no reason that you can't have them same things or better or close to it at least.
So what's the most units you sold besides this month? Because I know you said you averaged 18, but what did you sell? What was the most you sold before at 35 and a half?
25 in January.
So you've never broken 30, and then you went right through 30.
Yes, sir.
How do you feel about that accomplishment, man?
Very proud, very proud. Like I said, you know, my partner and my boss both have been a big help in that. And, you know, my boss has been telling me for the last couple of months that I was going to do it. I was going to get there. And, you know, I don't know if I believed him, but it happened. And, you know, I'm very thankful for that. And I just want to get 40.
Well, you know that there's a gentleman named Frank Crinitti that, hold on, that's one of my dealer principals. So there's a gentleman named Frank Crinitti who works at Piazza Honda. You listening to this? He works at a single point Honda dealership, and he sells 100 cars a month on the showroom floor. Do you hear me? He makes over $750,000 a year on the showroom floor, but that's not even the biggest. There's a guy named Cody Carter who's out of a Toyota dealership in California, which is Tuscan Toyota. He basically sells about 80 to 90 units per month. August last year, so a year ago, he sold 133 cars in 1 month. He's the number 2 Toyota salesperson in the world. And then the GOAT, the greatest of all time, is Ali Reda. Ali, you know, has sold 100 and actually more than that. He sold 202 units in 1 month, December 2019. He sold 32 cars in 1 day. In January 2nd, he sold 32 cars in 1 day. And he sold 1,580 units in 1 year, which is the Guinness Book of World Records. And so he makes approximately $1.3 million a year on the showroom floor.
Wow.
Wrap your mind around that. So there is such profound potential to grow. But I want to ask you a couple questions. What are you doing to market and brand? You know what I mean? Because, you know, we talked earlier before we started the interview, and you're not on a Build-A-Brand site, but you will be now. So I'm gonna gift you a Build-A-Brand site because I think that you deserve it, and I want you to be able to take it to the next level to break 40 cars. But once you have your own website, you have your own Facebook page, you know, are you investing any money in ads, in billboards, or any of that stuff for yourself?
I have not yet.
Bro, listen to me. You're swimming upstream, young Jedi. You hear me?
Yeah. Other than the Facebook,
Y-O-U-N-G.
Other than my Facebook page, I mean, I got my own personal Facebook, and I got my car sales Facebook page, but that's all I've done so far.
Listen to me. Why does your dealership, why does Gary Smith Honda have its own website, its own digital marketing? I mean, they're part of Honda. Why don't they just use Honda's website? Because they're not Honda OEM. Honda OEM is Honda OEM. You're not Gary Smith Honda. You need to be, in your mind, metaphorically speaking, a franchise of Gary Smith Honda. Are you aware my daughter sells cars? You seen her in the group?
Yeah, I saw that the other day. I don't remember exactly how much it was, but I know she, did her personal best month.
Yeah, well, she closed, I think, with 19 cars last month, but she's working at, no excuses, but she's working at a Buick GMC dealership, a tier 2 franchise, which in like dog years, she's like 40-car girl. I'm only kidding, right? But she's got this website here. This is a Build-A-Brand website like you're going to have, and this is her own website. So basically, she's got her own website. You should write that down, tgotyourkeys.com, because she's won awards nationally for the website. It is officially like the #1 website for any individual sales consultant in the country. The instructional design, the psychology, everything on here is pretty crazy. So she's got her own website. She's got her own Facebook business page. She's got her own Instagram, business page. She's got her own TikTok. By the way, her TikTok went viral. Her one video has got 2.2 million views on TikTok organically. She's got like 19,000 followers and like almost 400,000 likes on TikTok. It's insane. She's a 21-year-old, young woman, 18 months in the industry, so she's still a fledgling. But my point being is that she's got Google Analytics on her website. She's taken Facebook Pixel and put it onto her website. Why? Because anybody goes to her, website, her salesperson's website, and then they go to social media like Facebook and Instagram. She's got videos. Get her out of here. She's got videos. I have a puppy in here. She's got videos and she's got banner ads that are there. So try to imagine this for you. When you get your own build-a-brand website for yourself, you'll be able to do exactly what my daughter's doing, and you could invest in yourself, and this is something we don't do. So this is not a pitch. Like, I don't do any of this shit. I'm giving you free advice. If I were you and I had my own website, I would do what the dealership does. I wouldn't waste any money on pay-per-click, but I would personally buy Facebook ads. I might put an ad budget of $400 to $500 and do certain things. Like my daughter, she's in the LGBT community, so she targeted them. She's also a female, so she targeted females. She also, targeted a major factory that's in Reading, Pennsylvania called DECA, and she also targeted military, law enforcement, and first responders because she didn't want to waste her money trying to get like Buick GMC buyers because she doesn't have the budget or resources as an OEM or a car dealership, so you don't need to. So if you start focusing on demographics of people, again, military, law enforcement, I've heard you say a couple different ways that you have faith. So I'm assuming you have a church that you belong to and, you have a certain belief system. So again, Shakespeare said, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. So you could target people that are Christians. You could target people that have the same, you can even target people that go to the same church as you on Facebook and Instagram. It's targeted marketing. So what you can do is for a very small amount of money, invest in yourself. Think of yourself like a real estate agent. Again, why is it if car sales is your own business, why are you waiting for only the dealership resources for you to be successful for your family or not? Anybody that sells that I know of, 60, 80, 100 plus units a month, they don't care what the dealership's doing because regardless, their machine is going to be effective with or without the dealership, with or without a freaking pandemic because they've got their raving fan base in there. I would say for you in Florida, get a billboard. Now, I don't know if your dealer could hear me, so it is what it is. Since you're not a client or what have you, I'm just giving you, perfect advice. I would suggest that you have a conversation with your dealership because it sounds like you and your owner have a good rapport. I would say, listen, sir, I want to take my career to the next level. And look at what all we did without branding me, as my own business. I want to build my own business. Can you help me? Maybe the dealership, because I know some dealerships that for their rock star people, they'll give a billboard to or they'll co-op. So let's say a billboard costs you $1,000. Okay, let's say the dealership pays $500 and you pay $500. Who cares? Can you imagine having a billboard with you and your website on there? That's what you got to think about. There's nothing wrong with wanting more. Every single person wants that in sales should want more. Your dealership should want to sell more cars, right or wrong?
Yes, sir. 100%.
Okay, so then why is it not okay for you to want to sell 50 cars a month? It's not impossible. Did you ever think you'd sell 35 and a half?
No.
You did. Now where are you going to go? You're going to go down? You're going to go backwards? Why? Exactly. With inventory shortage in the middle of a freaking pandemic in Florida, you sold 35 and a half cars without doing so many things because you're still young in the industry. You see what I'm saying? So now can you imagine if you had a consistent marketing strategy that you could drive traffic to your own website? Do you follow me? So you could do billboards, you could do social media paid ads for Facebook paid ads, Instagram paid ads, etc. And they're a fraction of there. And I'm saying this is something that you should want to do. So if I'm making 19 grand, like what could you really spend money on? The best investment is yourself. Do you understand me, brother? The best investment you could ever have is in yourself, not in freaking mutual funds or stocks and bonds. You need to educate yourself and provide yourself resources to grow your business, whether it's marketing and advertising. And at a certain point, there may be a point where you hit a line of demarcation, whether it's 40 or 50 cars. But once you get to a certain amount, then you get an assistant or a delivery coordinator that's able to take out the BS work, the paperwork, and the running around work, so you could focus more and more in conversations and closing deals. Ali Reddy, do you know how he does it? He's got 4 offices. Just like think about a doctor. This is change your paradigm. A doctor's office might have a dentist might have 6, 8 offices, right? And then the dental hygienists and the people that do most of the work, then they get the folder, and then the doctor just goes from room to room to room to room to room. Think about that mentality. You don't have to sell cars like we've been selling cars for the last 100 years. I mean, look what happened to Sears to Amazon, from yellow cabs to Uber, from Netflix, from Blockbuster. I mean, again, you could innovate the way that people, buy cars. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Attention auto dealers, you need an opportunity to do business. AutoWeb is one of the largest suppliers of high quality leads. I mean, high quality buyers. At a 10% closing ratio, you will be at less than $190 per car sold. Don't just settle for what you get. AutoWeb can fully customize your results through targeted markets and/or zip codes, and as a partner, you will get premium placement within search results. Who better to do that than literally the people that invented automotive internet sales? If you want to sell more cars more often and more profitably, then you need AutoWeb.
The reason why I'm on the Zoom with you is because there's very few people that ever hit over 30 cars in the automotive industry. National average is 9.6. My brother, you sold 3.5 times more than the average salesperson. Let me put that in perspective. There's 16,500 franchise dealerships in the United States. The average dealership has 10 salespeople. That's 165,000 franchise salespeople minimum, up to probably 185. Then there's an additional 40,000 used car dealerships, okay, and independent dealerships. So we're talking about 50,000 dealerships. So I would have to estimate there's over 500,000 car salesmen or car saleswomen in the country. So out of 500,000 people, be proud that you sell 3.5 times the average person. That's pretty crazy. You should be really proud of you, your team, your partner, and everything. You deserve the recognition. But what I want you to do is I want you to focus on taking it to the next level. I'm going to show you one piece here, and then I'm going to leave it open for you for some comments and little bits of tips and go from there. So when we go into this, I'm going to go to the money mind map that we created. Tell me where you think you got your cars from, all 35. Where did you get the most of your cars from?
So elaborate on that question for me.
Okay, I'll give you an example. So you have walk-in ups, you got internet ups, you've got prior customers, stuff like that. How many different ways did you sell those 35.5 cars?
I mean, I sold it all the different ways, but most of it was internet.
No. I don't accept that. I'm gonna pretend I'm your sales manager. So Robbie, let's break it down. How many came from walk-in spots, meaning non-appointments, people that just walked in from advertised marketing because you're the local Honda dealership, walked in June and you spotted them the day that they came in? How many out of your 35? Less
than a handful.
So give me a number. How many?
About 4 or 5.
Don't range me. I'm not a up. 4 or 5. Pick a number.
5.
Thank you, sir. Now, how many B-backs did you do? So if you spotted 5 people, how many people came in, non-appointment, non-prior customer? They didn't get spotted the first time, but you got them back in the month of June. How many B-backs did you sell?
3.
3. Okay. How many people from internet ups, internet leads?
22.
You sold 22 internet leads?
Yes.
How many phone ups did you sell?
Let me think here. 4.
4. Okay. So you're at 34 already. So how many from prior customers?
What, the other one that made 35, that was actually a friend.
Okay, so that's a referral or a prospect. So it's a prospect, so it's 35. And what about the other 0.5 one? Where'd that come from?
That's probably from my partner giving me a deal.
Okay, so that's 35. Now, I'm going to share this with you in the most loving way. those numbers are not accurate. So the part that I'm going to give you for you taking time out on the first day of the month to share this with our audience, I'm going to give you some knowledge. Can you see my screen right here, brother?
Yeah.
This is going to change your life right here. This is what I call my money mind map. There's actually 13 ways that a showroom salesperson could sell a car. 13. You named 1, 2, 3, 4. So stop it. So you're not tracking this the right way because you probably haven't learned. But watch where I'm going to go with this. Walk-in spots is 1. Service walk-ins. That means going into your service department without using Automotive Mastermind and just upping people in there. It's not the most strategic, but it does work. It's old school, right? But you could just walk in and without even any Automotive Mastermind, just start having conversations with people in your service drive, and you're going to convert some of those people. Then service curated, which means that people that are in your service department, but you used Automotive Mastermind or your CRM, and you used data mining, equity mining tactics. Then B-backs, phone ups, internet ups. Now watch that. So already right here, walk-ins, service, data mining, equity mining, B-backs, phone, and internet. That's 6 ways right there. 6, but there's still another 7 left. Watch. Now, in-market previous and orphan customers, what does that mean? So besides previous customers, your dealership, I'm sure, has orphan owners. And it sounds like you're not really maximizing them. So anybody that's in market, what does that mean? Somebody that has a lease that's about to come up, or their loan is about to mature, or they got into an accident, they have an insurance check. They're in market. They're a previous customer of yours or of the dealership. So that's in-market, previous, or orphan. Then there's data mining, equity mining for previous customer orphan owners. Then there's in-market, previous, and orphan, that's sales and service. And then there's data mining, previous, and orphans, sales and service. Then you have referrals. Those are people that come in and say, hey, John said to go see you, Robbie, if I needed a car. Malik said go see you. Karen said go see you. So these are people that you basically have that are walking in that you didn't set referrals up. Other people are referring people to you. And then referral appointments are what you've set yourself, okay? And then prospecting is you basically having your own website. You're going to community events, participating in charity events and things like that. You doing your own website, having a billboard, just broadcasting on social media. So check this out. This is the money mind map. So what you do is, let's just say that if you wanted to sell, and this is just an example right here, right? Hold on. So if you needed and wanted to sell, let's just say, for example, let's say you wanted to gross 12 grand. Right? You want to do more than that, but I have this already preloaded here. And to do that, you wanted to sell 30 cars. But let's flip it over. Let's say you wanted to gross 20,000. To do that, you need to sell 40 cars, and you have 21 employee working days to do it in July. So the question is, where are you going to get your cars from? So today's July 1st. So what you need to do is, like, after you get on the phone with me, seriously sit down and say, okay, if I want to sell 40 cars in July, where am I going to get my cars from? How many cars am I going to get from walk-in spots? How many from working my service drive? How many from working B-backs? How many from phone ups? How many from internet ups? How many from previous customers or orphan owners, in sales? How many from previous orphan from data mining, equity mining? How many from referrals? How many from prospecting? Does that make sense? And once you map them out here, the Excel will work. Watch this. It now tells you per day, per week, per month, how many people I need to talk to or up per category. Per day, per week, per month, how many appointments I need to set per category. Per day, per week, per month, how many appointments I need to attempt to confirm per category. Per day, per week, per month, how many appointments need to actually get confirmed per category. Per day, per week, per month, how many appointments need to show up per category. Per day, per week, per month, how many people need to be demoed per category. Per day, per week, per month, how many people need to be spotted. Now, how freaking strong is this this is the most advanced projecting and forecasting that you've ever seen. This is not what normal people do, but why the hell are you going to try to use the North Star like Christopher Columbus when you should be using GPS like Google Maps for your financial success? You like where I'm going with this, brother?
Sure.
Strong or what?
It's very strong. That's, I didn't even know this existed, but that is a very good way to look at it. And I firmly believe in stuff like this because if you, when you write down your goals, whatever it is and what you need to do, I think it makes it more accomplishable than when you're just flying by the, handle on the seat, trying to get 40 cars out of your butt.
100%. So Malik's going to find a couple videos that I have on YouTube for you. He's one of my agents here. He's one of my trainers. So Malik is going to send you a couple videos. One, like I have a Make Money Monday one for Money Mind Map. So just go to YouTube, type in Make Money Mondays, Money Mind Map. And then I have How to Sell 30 Cars. I got like almost 500,000 views on this video, I think, or it's like 100-something thousand. I don't remember. It's like hundreds of thousands of views on this, but it's something that's really going to help you, because think about what you're doing. You're exerting a lot of kinetic energy, but you're not diversifying. The reason why the average salesperson only sells like less than 10 cars is because they're only triggered on 2 or 3 ways. Now, it seems like you're getting a lot of the internet, but it tells me that you're really not maximizing service. You're not maximizing referrals. You're not maximizing orphan owners. You're not maximizing the lost art of prospecting, building your own brand, and evangelizing that. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Like, brother, I'm serious. If you're about this life, I'm going to show you a map how you get to 50 cars. Do you hear me?
Yes.
But again, what I would do is I would take this information that you got here, talk to your owner about it, and nothing has to do with me. This is free. This is just free advice because I'm impressed with you and I'm trying to help you get to the next level for you, your family, and your organization. What I would say, the things that you need to work on is diversifying, the way that you sell your cars. That's one. Second is I think that to build on that is that you're not maximizing orphan owners. You're not maximizing the service drive, service conversions, and service customers that never bought a car there. And you're not maximizing generating a shit ton of referrals. And you're absolutely not maximizing branding yourself. Malik's also going to send you my daughter's URL, tgotyourkeys.com. Look at her website, and I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give you a $2,000 product for free just because I believe in you and I want to see you succeed, and because I can. You know what I mean? This is what I do. and again, I appreciate you sharing your time and your story. Now, with that being said, let's leave with certain things. Like if you were, and again, if I was a relative and I got into the car industry, give me your words of wisdom on how I should be successful in the car industry. But you're really speaking to tens of thousands of people that are going to listen to this podcast and they're going to see this in the Millionaire Car Salesman group, literally tens of thousands of people. So what would you say is the best advice that you could give? And there's no limit. So just start freestyling off the top, like Eminem and 8 Mile. I want to hear you. Talk to us. What do we need to do to be successful in this industry?
First thing first, you need to work hard. Don't be the guy who sits around in the group with the other 6 salesmen and, talks and BS's. When you're at work, you're there to work and you never really stop working. When you're out at dinner at night, or you're at church, or you're at the gym, or whatever it is that you do, always be promoting yourself and your business. And, like I said, when you're at work, be genuine, be honest, be nice, take care of people. And they're going to come back to you, or they're going to tell people about you. They're going to send their friends to you. Make people like you. Find ways to, just find ways to make people like you, and find ways to make every kind of person like you, no matter the, age, race, religion, anything like that. You gotta be a chameleon in this business. And, like I said, make sure that people take care of you. Make sure they leave you good reviews. I have all my customers leave me, 5-star Google reviews. That way, anybody who gets on there and looks at Gary Smith Honda, they see, that Robbie Irvin has 20 5-star reviews this month, and the next salesperson has 4. Whenever they look at that and see that, who do you think that they're going to want to come and see? It's going to be you.
Do you do anything to go above and beyond for your customers?
Yeah. To be honest, nothing that necessarily stands out. I mean, of course that's a no, to be honest. No.
Well, you ever pick somebody up if they don't have transportation? You ever deliver cars? That's going above and beyond. So that's important. So you do stuff. So let's talk about that. Like, what type of stuff do you do like that? You pick up people that don't have rides? Do you drop people off? Do you, do you help out if they have service issues? you know, like, again, to me, customer service is so important. Customer satisfaction is important, and getting people to like and love you is important. And to do that, I think, is by providing supreme customer experience. Like, so what do you do to make their experience phenomenal? I lost your audio. You're muted. There you go.
All right.
Yeah,
like you said about picking people up, you know, if I got a customer that lives anywhere within an hour, doesn't matter what way, if they live within an hour of the dealership, I will go pick them up if they don't have a way to your dealership and they want to buy a vehicle from you. I don't do this personally. I'd rather just go pick them up, but you could always, you know, pay for their Uber or their Lyft ride up to the dealership. I mean, what's it going to be? $10? You're going to make that back after you sell them a car. Like you said, and that's just a way of, you know, promoting your business and stuff, or investing in yourself. You spend $10 to make $500, then it is what it is. You still came out on top. You know, if somebody comes to your dealership, they just wrecked their vehicle, they're in a rental, they have no way to get their rental back to the, you know, Enterprise or whatever it is. Follow them to Enterprise in their new car. They drop their rental off, then they drop you back off at the dealership. Anybody, when it's lunchtime and they're waiting an hour and a half on finance, you buy them lunch. I mean, like I said, you've made that money back on them. So there's no reason why you can't spend $15-20 getting them and their family lunch or whatever, whether it's just pizza or, you know, you DoorDash something.
I love that. Whenever
they have a service, you know, issue or whatever it is, make sure, you know that they can reach out to you to set that appointment. They don't have to call and be on hold for 5-10 minutes, talk to somebody they don't know or anything like that. You know, let them call you, and then you go to the service advisor or whoever does your scheduling for service and set their appointment. If they need a part order their part for them. When it's small little things like touch-up paint, don't make them pay for it, you know. With my employee discount, I can get a bottle of touch-up paint for like $7. Anytime a customer of mine needs touch-up paint, I get them touch-up paint and tell them not to worry about it.
So stop. You see this? I don't do that much. Are you kidding me? That's a lot. That's what I was looking for. So, and don't take that for granted. Most people don't do all that stuff that you say you do. Good stuff, brother. So listen, Ed, I'm gonna let you close it out. We have a hard stop right now. Thank you so much for your time. But I'm gonna let you close out with whatever you want to say.
Hey, first of all, I want to thank you, Sean, for you know, just taking the time to interview me and everything for the podcast. It's been a pleasure. I know I can't see everybody's face, but I hope I was able to help you out as much as possible. Like I said earlier today, man, you know, nothing is unreachable. Like I said, you know, 5 years ago, I would have never thought I'd even make $60,000. This year, I'm going to make well over $100,000. And you can do the same thing. Like I said, be genuine, be nice, go above and beyond, and, you know, just work your butt off, and anything can happen.
Absolutely, brother. I'm so proud of you. Congratulations. And I will be following up with you tomorrow about your new Build a Brand website. Okay?
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Take care. And congrats on your success.
Thank you.
So there you have it, the Millionaire Car Salesman podcast. This podcast comes to you every week from the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. If you have a question about the show or would like the chance to become a guest, feel free to contact us directly at 856-546-2440 or email us at millionairecarsalesman@gmail.com. This program is a presentation of Synergy Records, produced by Tiana Mick and L.A. Williams. Production and engineering by L.A. Williams. The Millionaire Car Salesman podcast is hosted every week by L.A. Williams and the Millionaire Car Salesman himself, Sean V. Bradley. The Millionaire Car Salesman podcast can be found everywhere, so please don't forget to review, subscribe to, and share the show. Thanks for listening to the Millionaire Car Salesman podcast, and remember, where I'm from, money provides options. The Millionaire Car Salesman podcast is sponsored in part by AutoWeb and Call Source. If you enjoyed this podcast, then make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave us a review. You know, let some other folks know about it. Oh, and don't forget to join the Millionaire Car Salesman group on Facebook, We'll see you there.